So what do you call yourself? Welcome to the LaTangela Show. Hey.
Hey, what can I do for you this fine day?
This is your destiny. Hot, hot, hot.
Right now.
Welcome to the LaTangela Show.
Kick it.
Come on in and enjoy yourself.
Right now.
We gon' party like no one else. Welcome to the LaTangela Show.
How is my favorite face doing?
Hey, my love, I am excellent. How are you?
I'm outstanding now that we're here together.
Listen, I'm so glad we've had this time together.
That's it.
One of these days, Carol Burnett is just going to steal that from me. You know, I'm going to have to keep that under wraps for a while.
How are you?
Like, we have so much to catch up on. I'm good.
We do. It is a new month, and we have got new programming and lots of excitement.
Because whenever the excitement hits your desk, it hits our desk. And I'm excited about this partnership because as the Senior Communications Director for so many wonderful free streaming networks, such as Redbox, such as Crackle, such as Chicken Soup for the Soul, there's something for everyone. But when it comes down to the questions that need answers, Chris, this is applied pressure. Applied pressure.
Okay,
What
here we go.
our binge list this week?
Oh, we've got you covered. We have got a ton. So much good stuff. So we'll start with Crackle and move from there. Okay,
Let's get it
sounds
right.
good. All right. On the 13th of this month, one of my absolute favorite stars is dropping an exclusive on Crackle, and it's a doozy. So, you know what? I know that the unofficial start of summer has begun, but we still have a couple of chills to deliver. And this is Willy's Wonderland, starring none other than your favorite and mine, Nicolas Cage.
Get out of here.
Yeah. So this is a horror film. Nicolas Cage plays a hapless drifter. I know you say, really? Nicolas Cage, a drifter? And he is hired to clean up a defunct theme park called Willy's Wonderland.
Okay.
And once he's inside and locked in, he discovers that he's not there to clean up. He's there to get cleaned up, because it ends up that the park is filled with the possessed spirits of the animatronic robots that used to be part of the theme park experience.
Wait a minute. It's a new month. You got new stuff that's dropping. Nicolas Cage never disappoints. And with Willy's Wonderland, I need to see this. Is it available in streaming right now?
It will be on the 13th. It drops.
The 13th. Okay.
So that will be on Crackle and Redbox for free on the 13th.
Something about the word free motivates me.
You and me both. Yeah, it's really fun. He gets trapped in there with a group of teenagers, of course, in a horror film, and they have to band together to battle these demonic robots. So if you've ever went to Chuck E. Cheese and were a little terrified by the Rock-afire Explosion band up there on the stage, then you'll know exactly what this is all about.
And that was every time Chucky Nim would come out. I'm like, hey, you know what? Just bring the pizza, leave the rat. Bring the pizza, leave the rat.
We've got this amazing picture of my son when he was like 4 years old in one of the driving games, and Chucky's looking in one side and he's screaming at the top of his lungs as he's playing because he's so terrified of this giant rat sitting next to him.
We'll never let him live it down. I'm gonna need that. Yeah. Hey, nephew, come here. Let me bring you back to humble beginnings.
That's it. Yep. Look at this.
The 13th, we're all in. What else?
Awesome. So we've got another great thriller. This is called Girl, and it's starring Bella Thorne. And this is a dark one as well. She's traveling back to her hometown to confront her horribly abusive father. When she gets there, she discovers that someone in town has already taken justice into their own hands, and they've offed not so dear old dad.
Okay.
She starts digging into the family and finds that dad isn't the only bad apple in the barrel, and that the family is rotten to the core, and Bella Thorne decides that she needs to do some house cleaning.
Wow.
So it's a thriller, it's drama, it's action, it's kind of got everything in there. Her performance is spectacular. It got great reviews. Girl, check that one out for sure. It's great.
Adding that one right now.
Beautiful.
Good.
Beautiful.
See, adding to our binge list, because it's the summer months. You have some that are going to do vacations and you have some that's doing staycations. So why not make sure that we have access, whether we're on the road, if we're in the hotel, or if we're at home, popcorn is available and we need the entertainment at this point.
That's right. And you can watch Crackle on any of your devices. Just download the app or go to crackle.com and you are off to the races. But speaking of vacations, we have an amazing Crackle original series dropping, actually it dropped yesterday. So it is currently live, up and running. You can watch all 5 episodes. And this is Paradise. And it is it's a dramatic sitcom about 2 girls who meet in the Bahamas, only to discover that they are not only sisters, but they've both inherited their dad's decrepit vacation rental hotel. And it is spectacular. It's actually the largest production in Bahamas history.
Wow.
So it's a little bit historic, but it's got all of the beautiful set pieces that you would expect in the Bahamas. And it's a really fun, it's just one of those great, like 2 people pair up that do not like each other at all. And because they both have the same goal of, getting this thing up and running and making big money, they've got to work together, even though they despise each other. So it's really fun. And This is Paradise, Crackle original. You want to check that out.
That's a like it or not, love it or leave it.
There you go.
This is Paradise, probably with some friction and some, but I'm all in. And you say we have 5 episodes of that?
Yes.
Well, let's get it in. What else you got cracking for me?
So everybody needs a good laugh. You've got This is Paradise, but we also have one of the greatest stand-up comedy shows of all time. This is the Blue Collar Comedy Tour. Jeff Foxworthy, Bill Engvall, Ron White, and of course, Larry, Lord help us, the cable guy. This is the one that sort of brought back stand-up comedy into the forefront again. I mean, we hadn't seen these kinds of crowds at stand-up comedy shows really since the time of like the big like 70 Eddie Murphy maybe was drawing these kinds of crowds, but until the Blue Collar Comedy Tour, it really kind of rejuvenated the stand-up comedy world. And so we not only have that one, but we also have Blue Collar Comedy Rides Again. So we have 2 of those specials. And, for most fans of stand-up comedy, it's really some of the best stand-up of the last 25 years. So really good stuff.
And now you have so many people that are yelling, "Oh, I'm a comedian. I'm a comedian." Well, make me laugh. Now, when you say make me laugh, stand up is something completely different. And to go back and see these icons in the game do what they do and to see how they've all had their breakout moments, and that is just them, the audience. There's a microphone and a spotlight. Let's get it in. I'm here for it.
Absolutely. I agree wholeheartedly. So we've got both sides of the coin. We've got the sort of the thriller dramas, and then we've also got on the other side, we've got tons of laughs for you on Crackle.
Yeah. And when we move over to Redbox, tell me what's hot over here.
Oh yeah. So we've got a fun grab bag of stuff. I call it like Weirdsville this month on Redbox, because we've got a lot of odd films that sort of skirt a number of different genres, but they're really fun. One of them that I'm super excited about, and I had never heard of this one, and I was shocked at how great it was because I hadn't heard anything, and it's called The Healer. So this is starring Oliver Jackson Cohen from The Haunting of Hill House, who's kind of an up-and-coming name. Jonathan Pryce from The Crown, who's been in a billion different things. Chameleon Luddington from one of the regulars from Grey's Anatomy. So this is about this young kid, trust fund baby, big city playboy, sleeping around, doing his thing, and right. he thinks he calls himself the healer because he can fix anything technological. Well, the powers that be in his family are trying to rein him in, and so they decide to relocate him to this small town where he can't get in as much trouble. So he has an ad placed so that he has something to do on the healer, but it gets all mixed up in the translation. And unfortunately, when the ad comes out, people think that he's a faith healer. And the next morning he wakes up and he's got a line of people outside his door.
Waiting on him to lay hands.
That's it, exactly. I've got this problem with my elbow. I got a pain here in my neck. And so he doesn't know what to do, but
get to him.
There's a twist. And I'm not going to spoil it because I'm not that guy, but it ends up being a beautiful movie. And it's one of those that you finished it and you went, I'm really glad I watched this film. Yeah, it could have just been sort of a caustic, funny story about a jerky trust fund baby, but it ends up having a really beautiful message, and it's a great film, The Healer. Check that one out.
I love it. Redbox is bringing that heat. What else you got for me?
So I think we've talked about before, I'm a gigantic Lord of the Rings nerd. I mean, I'm a lot of kinds of nerds, but I'm a Lord of the Rings nerd. And we've got
nerds are cool.
Right? I know. It's like a nerd renaissance coming on right now. But we've got Sean Bean from all the Lord of the Rings movies. And he is the lead in this movie called Black Death that we have. And it's a period action drama that takes place during the first wave of the bubonic plague during the Middle Ages. And he plays a monk who is sent to investigate stories about a remote village where people who died of the plague are being brought back to life.
I'm all in for this.
It's intriguing, I got to tell you. Production values are great. Sean Bean, as always, is through the roof spectacular. But you got to check that one out.
The Healer and Black Death. Redbox got it cracking. Crackle is always in full effect. I've marked my calendar already for the 13th. But when we move on over to Chicken Soup for the Soul, some of this feel-good action, of course, you're going to give us something that you got. What's up for the summer months?
I am. And I think, I mean, I'm always excited about Crackle and Redbox, but man, Chicken Soup for the Soul is coming out swinging in June. They've got some awesome ones. So, you know, we always do the feel good at Chicken Soup for the Soul. And this month, you know, we have all of our original rom-coms that we do every month. We've got another great one. And this one, I got to be honest, is my favorite so far. This is called A Slice of Chicago Romance.
Okay.
And it's so fun. So it's about two historically competing small town pizza parlors that have been vying for the market in this suburb of Chicago. And the two bitter rival owners, and what happens when a huge nationwide conglomerate moves into town. So these two now have to partner up in order to keep their businesses solvent. And
I like it.
It's so cute. Obviously romance ensues, but it's wonderful. And it really made me want to eat pizza. I actually went and made a pizza after watching this movie. So,
okay. So I have questions that need answers. You know, random research. When we're talking about the ultimate pizza toppings, what's a must have for you?
I've got to have meat on there. I'm a carnivore, and I've got to meat. I usually have to have garlic.
Okay.
And I love spicy. So any amalgam, and I'm also not a pineapple hater. Like, I know there's a lot of people, that is a very divisive subject.
We're going to do half and half on that. Like, you can have all the pineapple over here on your pizza that you want, but just keep it on that half. I'm not against the pineapple. I just don't know how I feel about it at the same time as my pizza. I'm not sure.
My wife's the same way.
You know? Now, what type of crust are we doing?
I like thin, but I'm also open to other options.
We got to get it together because with all of this great entertainment between Chicken Soup for the Soul, Crackle, and Redbox, we need to make sure that we have the snacks together. And
That's
if you
right.
can't get the pizza order together, we're fighting about the pizza and can't even enjoy the movie. So now what are we doing, you know?
Right?
We have one more after we do a slice of Chicago romance. What else you got for me over there with Chicken Soup for the Soul?
Okay, so this is almost the most that I'm excited about anything across all our services this month. And this is, so I don't know about you, but growing up, Sesame Street was on constant rotation in my house. Like that was the soundtrack of my youth.
Yeah.
I was just, could not have been a bigger fan as a kid. And it didn't really wane much as an adult, which might sound weird, but I still, if it's playing, I'm going to sit down and watch the episode. I love it. Yeah. So it is the documentary Street Gang, How We Got to Sesame Street. And it is a deep dive. The filmmakers got access to everything, all the footage, all the behind the scenes. They got to interview not only the puppets themselves, but also the puppeteers, the actors who played characters on the show. And you get to hear stories that have never, ever been told about really what amounted to the most historic children's television series of all time.
Ever. Let me tell you how impactful Sesame Street has been. Like, this is just so far-fetched, right? My first and favorite toy that I can remember. It was my first cassette player, and it was a Sesame Street, almost like a karaoke. It had the red button for stop and the yellow button, green button, play button, blue button, the microphone, and it came with a book and a cassette, right? Well, lo and behold, here we are. So as a singer, I was always fascinated with the buttons and that was my first toy, my favorite toy. And then for my 25th radioversary, one of my friends gifted me almost the exact replica of that toy. And I was like, you know what? And it was a 3-part gift about the future, the past, and the present, you know, and I said, that's so impactful because even those toys that they were giving us back then, they were trying to educate us and entertain us. But I wonder if they ever knew how much they really enhanced our lives and impacted our lives, because that's something that wasn't just a toy. But I remember while I was putting together the Mahalia Jackson documentary that I did for her, that I went back and I saw her during her Sesame Street appearance. And that touched me even more. And then you would go back and see the other acts and artists that they would have. And then you meet the voices behind the puppets, you know, and it was just amazing. So yeah, I'm here for that. How we got to Sesame Street. How? Right. So
that's it.
I'm starting there. I'm mad that you did not start there.
I buried the lead is what I did, right?
That's good. And you know what? I think that's how I'm going to start my binge watch list. Chris Woolsey, you are the real MVP, and I can never thank you enough for all of the hard work and dedication that you and your team put in to provide great entertainment for our families, especially when, you know, people are strapped for cash. So the last thing we need to do is lack family time or different outlets that we really enjoy. So bringing entertainment to us and for free, Crackle, Redbox, Chicken Soup for the Soul, y'all are the real MVP, and don't you dare let them tell you different.
Well, it is literally our pleasure to do that, to be able to help people who are challenged to get their entertainment and not have to pay for it. It's really the fire that stokes the engines over at Chicken Soup for the Soul Entertainment. We love helping consumers stretch their entertainment dollar, and we love you helping us do it. So thank you.
It's a privilege. And I know you have more work to do. So I'm gonna let you chase the sun or let the sun chase you. But either way, get after it. I love you, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it.
Love you right back. Thanks, LaTangela.
See you soon.
We'll talk soon. All right.